loading on track number 1 for a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. All aboard!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Disney 24/7. Here, it's Disney all the time. And today, it's time for a swinging wake. As you all know, we are well into spooky season, and to celebrate, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 Halloween ride overlays at Disneyland and Disney World from the worst to the best. Really quickly, before I do, I have to establish some ground rules for how this is going to work. First and foremost, these are my opinions, so you may disagree, and if you do, let me know what you disagree with in the comments and why. I'd love to start a discussion. I really think that'd be great. Also, the attractions in this list are specifically a part of the Halloween season. So that means year-round spooky attractions like the Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios and regular Haunted Mansion won't be a part of this list. And the attractions have to be full rides. So the enhancements to Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney World for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party won't count either. I'd also just like to let you know that I should be posting another video, hopefully by Saturday, because I know I missed an upload last week. To be sure not to miss that, make sure you have your notifications on, but with that out of the way, let's start our list. Coming in at the number 5 spot, it's the Halloween Alice in Wonderland teacups thing. For those who don't know, this was a Halloween overlay on the teacups over at Disney World specifically for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Basically, it's like riding the teacups at night, but with Halloween themed music playing overhead, all the while more flashing lights are incorporated into the ride. So if you didn't get nauseous on the teacups before, well, this overlay ought to do the trick. While it clearly isn't the greatest Halloween overlay, it still was a part of Disney World's Halloween Party last year, and because of that, it takes our number 5 spot. At the number 4 spot, we have another ride from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Deep Space Mountain, where no one can hear you scream. I don't know if that's actually the slogan for the ride, I just know it from Alien. For this Halloween overlay, they made the ride pitch black and added a Halloween-themed soundtrack. That's always been my biggest complaint with Disney World's Space Mountain, is they have this big rocket ship thing in the middle of the ride, which makes it so you can actually see the track because of how much it's lit up. And Disney World's Space Mountain also doesn't have an original score like the Space Mountain in Disneyland, so I can appreciate that they're at least trying to add some music. I appreciate the effort, and I think that this actually improves upon the original. But at the end of the day, they really only switched off the lights, and for that reason, Deep Space Mountain takes the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot, it's the superior cousin of Deep Space Mountain. Over at Disneyland, it's Ghost Galaxy. This is where the list starts getting really good. Before you even enter the queue, Ghost Galaxy's presence is known throughout all of Tomorrowland, with the changing light effects on the outside of Space Mountain and the occasional blood-curdling screams of the ghosts which echo throughout the land. Once you enter the queue, the atmosphere is also completely different when compared to Space Mountain. For starters, the large screen at the front of the queue, which normally broadcasts a feed of the planet the shuttle is orbiting, keeps losing signal and cutting out. Also, all of the lights have been turned to lime green, which according to Disney is the color of evil. After a long and eerie ride up the first 2 lifts, we get our first look at the ghost as we slowly climb the final lift. This is where Ghost Galaxy really outshines Deep Space Mountain, and that Ghost Galaxy has actual effects with the ghost following the guests throughout the duration of the ride. Disneyland Space Mountain also has in-vehicle audio, so the soundtrack for Ghost Galaxy is specific to each ride vehicle and correlates with how the ghost is terrorizing the rocket at that specific moment. After the descent down the tracks, Ghost Galaxy finishes with a good old-fashioned jump scare. Ghost Galaxy has more effects, a solid soundtrack, and queue to beat Deep Space Mountain and earn its place in the number 3 spot. In the number 2 spot, again over at the Disneyland Resort, this time in California Adventure, is Guardians of the Galaxy Monsters After Dark. Monsters After Dark is really cool because its story is actually a continuation of the attraction it overlays, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. If you've never been on Mission Breakout, the premise is that the Collector has trapped the Guardians of the Galaxy as a part of his collection. But Rocket Raccoon escapes and asks us for our help to break out his friends and let the chaos begin. The ride then shows the events unfold of all the other creatures that were a part of the Collector's collection, breaking out and causing said chaos. Monsters After Dark is set just after all these quote-unquote monsters have escaped, and now the entire facility is in shambles. Now, this is arguably my favorite part of the whole Monsters After Dark attraction, is they let the cast members improv as they walk around looking all paranoid while carrying giant nets and wearing bloody safety vests. I remember one time, one of the cast members at the end of the ride after it already finished actually stuck her entire arm through the 2 elevator doors, because that's actually just like rubber right through there. It's not like the elevator door doesn't go all the way through. Then she like scared everyone. It was so funny, and she was like, "Oh, I heard a noise." Like, it was great. The cast members really do make this ride that much better. The screen in the main room of the Collector's Fortress is also showing a live security feed of more cast members dragging away sacks filled with these angry creatures. In the Collector's office, Rocket then asks us for our help to find Groot, who wandered off while the Guardians were escaping. The ride itself is the same drop ride system, but includes a hard rock Monsters After Dark soundtrack and shows Rocket and Groot as they try to escape the dragon from the start of Thor Ragnarok. Monsters After Dark finds itself in the number 2 spot, not just because of the ride itself, but I actually think that the build-up and anticipation and paranoia that the cast members create in the queue is one of the best parts of the attraction, so for that, it winds up in the number 2 spot. Before I get to the number 1 spot, I really quickly just wanted to give an honorable mention to the entirety of Cars Land. While Mater's Junkyard Jamboree technically is a Halloween overlay, I think Cars Land as a whole needs to be mentioned. All of the Cars-inspired Halloween decorations and even Cadillac Range with all the lights are just so perfect, and I just wanted to include it as an honorable mention because the land doesn't technically follow the rules for the ranking. Anyways, on to the number 1 spot. You probably already know what it is. It was the first ever Halloween overlay at any Disney park. That's right, I'm talking about Haunted Mansion Holiday, again at Disneyland in California. I consider this attraction a classic, and it seems many other people do as well, as time and time again you can see the line for this ride getting over an hour long, compared to the regular Haunted Mansion wait, which is usually only 13 minutes. Chances are, if you've been to the Disneyland Resort, you've been able to ride this attraction at least once, because the ride is operational for pretty much half the year from September to January, since it's technically a Christmas overlay as well. The premise of the ride is that Jack has come to the Haunted Mansion as Sandy Claus to spread his version of Christmas cheer to the 999 happy haunts there. I personally love checking every year to see if my name or someone I know is on the naughty or nice list that the snake is holding in its mouth in the attic. I also love the rendition of Grim Grinning Ghosts with What's This in the graveyard scene at the end, and who can forget the unique gingerbread house each year and the smell of gingerbread in the ballroom. It's literally perfection. Not to mention the sheer amount of decorations on the outside of the mansion and the animatronics of Jack, Sally, and Oogie Boogie. It's great, I love it, and for that it comes in at my number 1 spot and is, at least in my opinion, the best Halloween overlay in both Disneyland and Disney World. Well, what do you think? Do you agree with my picks? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there, give the video a like as it really does help this channel out, and subscribe for more Halloween content throughout October. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all again really soon.